Raise your glass, remember who you are, and join the Brotherhood.
She stands as straight as any pike upon a summer's day, with a look of quiet magic and a spirit in the sway. But once the music starts to roll and once the pipes begin, she lets the electric fire of the island's rhythm in. Her arms are steady by her side, her face is like a queen, the fastest pair of flying feet the world has ever seen. She's clicking on the yoke boards and she's clicking on the stone, with a language of the rhythm that she calls her very own. From the floor like smoke from out a gun, she's dancing with the lightning and she's dancing with the sun. A double shuffle, triple click, and then a soaring leap, while the rest of us are wondering if we're awake or fast asleep. She's the daughter of the masters and the student of the wind, playing out the heartbeat of the land where we have sinned. The floor begins to tremble and the walls begin to shake as she leaves a trail of thunder in the glory of her wake. Heel to toe, watch her go, a show to make your spirit rise. Just watch the flying colors and the sparkle in her eyes. She's the heartbeat of the emerald, she's the pulse of every reel, with a spirit made of clover and a pair of shoes of steel. Don't you try to follow her or try to keep the pace, unless you want to finish with the sawdust on your face. For once she starts her dancing, and once she's in the flow, she's the fastest bit of magic that the world will ever know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Behind the cellar door, the smallest bit of whiskers that you ever saw for sure. But he tripped upon a funnel and he tumbled in the keg and dragged the gallon off the air before he moved a leg. The barrel started shaking and the whip began to crack as a monster with a furry tail climbed out upon the back. He wasn't 3 inches high no more, he wasn't small or thin, he was bigger than the wolf found and he had a wicked grin. He marched into the parlor and he jumped upon the bar with a squeak that sounded louder than a crashing motor car. He grabbed a wheel of cheddar and he ate it in a bite. Then he challenged old man Finnegan to a dance into the might. He did it a triple shuffle with his giant furry feet and kept the perfect rhythm to the heavy metal beat. The caddy took one look at him and ran for county down. Even Mickey has been master of the Ronnie's pub in town. He's big, he's big, he's big. Slip see his saddle and his casting long and wide. Don't think it's just a giant who is looking for the high. It's only Mickey Mousey having one more rowdy sup, and you better start to dance until the sun is coming up. Bite the cheese, bend the knees, do exactly as you please. Squeak it out. Oh, he's a mouse and drape of magic, and he's 10 feet tall. The only one is dancing through the tavern and the hall. With a oyster like a sailor and a steering full of spree. He's the biggest little rebel in the whole of history. He's wild, he's grand, the king of Ireland. We weren't born of water and we weren't born of wine, but the spirit of the heather and the ancient silver pine. From the crags of Connemara to the cliffs of Donegal, we've answered to the music and we've answered to the call. Your hand is on me shoulder and me hand is on your sword. True to every promise and true to every word. We're the sons of the same lightning, we're the children of the storm, keeping one another through the winter safe and warm. If the world is at the window with a cold and bitter face, we'll stand inside the circle in our holy rowdy place. For the link between us, brother, is a chain of solid gold, tempered in the furnace of the stories never told. We've bled upon the same ground and we've sung the same old air, with the magic of the island in our spirits and our hair. There is no king can break us and no ocean can divide the men who stand together on the rising of the tide. One blood, one path, stronger than the winter's wrath. Oh, it's the brotherhood of iron, it's the spirit of the gale. Against the wind and thunder we are never gonna fail. With the harp upon the banner and the brother by the side, we're the kings of every mountain and we're riding on the tide. Again! And when the fight is over and the sun begins to set, we'll share a final measure with a heart without regret. For a life is just a shadow that is passing in the night, but the glory of a brother is an everlasting light. So raise your voices higher till the stars begin to shake, for the honor of the people and the promises we make. We're the echo of the forest, we're the fire on the hill. The ancient soul of Ireland is a living in us still. I am you, you are me. That's the way it's meant to be. One tribe, one soul. Oh, it's the brotherhood of iron, it's the spirit of the gale. Against the wind and thunder we are never gonna fail. With the harp upon the banner and the brother by the side, we're the kings of every mountain and we're riding on the tide. My brother, my life, through the darkest night. Aye, aye. Aye, aye. turned us sulfur blue, the air began to freeze as the shadow stepped inside the bar and brought us to our knees. He had a fiddle made of bone and strings of silver wire, and a look inside his hollow eyes like a burning forest fire. Who is the king of rhythm here? The devil asked with pride. Who's brave enough to dance with me and take a hellish ride? Old Seamus stepped from out the dark and tuned his wooden kit. I played for kings and highwaymen, I'm not afraid of bats. Hey! So cold it cracked the very glass. He played a tune of broken hearts and seasons that would pass. The floor began to smoke and swirl, the walls began to shake, as every soul inside the room felt every bone a break. But Seamus closed his tired eyes and started up a reel, with a rhythm made of Irish earth and a spirit made of steel. He played a song of morning light and a song of mountain rain, until the devil's silver strings were screaming out in pain. Bow to bow, string to string, hear the darkness like a Celtic hero should. Hey! Let's go! The devil's hand began to cramp, his brow began to sweat. He'd never met a mortal man who'd won a fiddle bet. With one last scream of melody, the bone-white fiddle broke, and the stranger disappeared inside a cloud of bitter smoke. The pub erupted in a roar, we passed the whiskey round, and Seamus sat back in his chair without a single sound. So if you hear a frantic tune when the moon is rising high, just know the devil's running from the music in the sky. Faster, hey! Faster, hey! Music is the master. Hey, search for your love. Hey! Fighting for the soul, the greatest little battle in the history of Rome, with the lightning in the fingers and the thunder in the wood. He's beating back the darkness like a Celtic hero should. He won! He won! The devil's on the run!
There's a name carved in the table right beside the window pane. It's been there through the sunshine and it's been there through the rain. The man who left it there has gone across the silver sea, but he's sitting here in spirit with the rest of company. We don't care for the miles and we don't care for the years. We've drowned 1,000 sorrows and we've tried 1,000 tears. For once you've shared the ballad and once you've shared the song, you belong to this for a signal on a lonely dusty track. Just remember there's a candle burning brightly in the hall, and a brother who is ready for to catch you if you fall. It's not the blood of cousins and it's not the blood of kings, but the magic that the loyalty and honest friendship brings. We're a wall of solid granite that the wind can never shake, with a bond that's made of fire and it's never gonna break. One for him, one for all, standing proud and standing tall. Oh, here's to the brothers, the living and the gone, the fire in the darkness that is carrying us on. With a glass held to the ceiling and a hand upon the heart, there is no force in heaven that can tear us all apart. So pour another measure and just leave it on the wood, for the boy who stood beside us as a gallant rebel should. We'll sing his favorite chorus till the morning starts to gray, for in this house of rascals no one ever goes away. We're the sons of the same island, we're the children of the dust, with a spirit made of honor and a heart of golden rust. So raise them up together, let the thunder hit the floor, for the brotherhood of Ireland is a knocking at the door. Side by side, back to back, never leaving from the track. We stand together. Gone, the fire in the darkness that is carrying us on, with a glass held to the ceiling and a hand upon the heart. There is no force in heaven that can tear us all apart. To the man, to the thread, always beneath the bush and mending of the shoes, but he got tired of the rain and he got tired of the blues. He sold his tiny hammer and he sold his buckle hat, and bought a Gibson cherry red as heavy as a cat. He didn't want the rainbow and he didn't want the gold. He wanted to be loud and fast and terrifyingly bold. He grew a mohawk on his head as green as clover leaf, and started playing riffs that would bring every saint to grief. He walked into the Dublin harp and plugged into the wall. The windows started cracking and the glasses started fall. He hit a power chord so loud it shook the county Cork, and put the local fiddlers right out of their bloody work. He's only 3 feet tall but he can scream like a machine, the wildest little rocker that the world has ever seen. He's jumping off the speakers and he's diving in the crowd, living for the music that is dirty, fast and loud. No more shoes, no more gold, doing what he's never told. Whoa, he's the punk rock leprechaun, the terror of the stage. He's broken out of folklore and he's broken out of cage, with a distorted fiddle and a heavy metal scream. He's the tiny nightmare of every rocker's dream. The elders of the Fairy Hill, they think he's gone insane, but he's traveling the country on a high-speed rockin' train. He's got 1 million followers and a custom leather vest, the loudest little rebel in the whole of Ireland's west. So if you see a shadow with a guitar in the night, be ready for a party trapdoor in the corner that is hidden from the sight. Beneath the dust and sawdust and beneath the heavy floor, there's a world of silver shadows and a never-ending roar. I tumbled down the ladder and I landed on me feet in a hall of shining marble where the air was cold and sweet. There were captains from the Navy and there were rebels from the hill, all dancing to a rhythm that was never ever still. A lady made of starlight took me by the trembling hand, and we spun around the ballroom of the hollow holy land. The fiddler was a skeleton in a coat of emerald green, the fastest bloody musician that me eyes had ever seen. They don't need any whiskey and they don't need any ale, for the magic in the music is a wind within the sail. They've been dancing since the famine, they've been dancing since the war, in the secret little kingdom underneath the tavern floor. Lost in time, found in soul, ghostly rock and ghostly roll. Oh, we're dancing with the shadows, we're singing with the dead, with the magic in the spirit and the fire in the head. It's the party of the ages, it's the kingdom of the deep, where the rascals of the history will never ever sleep. Aye, aye, aye. The sun is rising slowly on the streets of Dublin town, but underneath the floorboards no one's putting spirits down. We're leaping over gravestones and we're leaping over years, with a laughter that is louder than 1,000 salty tears. So if you feel a thumping coming up beneath your stool, don't you think it's just the liquor or that you're a silly fool. It's the ancestors are calling for to join them in the fun, in the ballroom of the ghosts where the party's never done. 1 foot in, hey, 1 foot out, hey, that's what ghosts are all about. Join the dead! With the shadows, we're singing with the dead, with the magic in the spirit and the fire in the head. It's the party of the ages, it's the kingdom of the deep, where the rascals of the history will never ever sleep. Down below, oh, in the dark, oh, feel the ghost, oh, inside the spark. On a chain of rusted steel, a bit of ancient magic that is terrifyingly real. It wasn't made by blacksmiths and it wasn't made for prayer, but to wake the sleeping spirit and to banish all despair. The room was cold and quiet and the spirits they were low. The fire in the chimney had forgotten how to glow, but the landlord grabbed the hammer and he swung it with a roar, and he hit the copper dragon till it shocked the very floor. The first ring brought the lightning, the second brought the heat. The fair was in to shiver from the fingers to the feet. The water in the brick chips turned to amber and to gold, the finest bloody whiskey that the world has ever hold. Suddenly the cripple was a-dancing on the bar, and the blind man saw the glimmer of the lucky Irish star. Was stronger than the mountain and were faster than the light, as the magic of the ring turns
every name. We're brothers of the lightning and we're sisters of the storm, keeping every heart inside us ever beating, never warm. So if the road is heavy and your luck is looking thin, just find the secret tavern where the rig have gotta win. Wait for the temple echo and the shaking of the ground, and you'll find the greatest glory that was ever to be found. One for the spirit, two for the light, three for the magic in the